It's supposed to feel.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9 Postgame Show on Pittsburgh Baseball Now. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we got Tyler. Tyler, we have a Pirates loss on our hands today. Pirates now officially 45-69. Not nice. What's up, buddy?
I'm here. I haven't been here in a while. I mean, I was here
while.
Thursday, but not a postgame show in a long time.
Right.
It's been great.
Well,
I haven't had to watch this
fine.
shithole team.
The Pirates have been on a West Coast trip. They haven't been here either, so you're fine.
Yeah.
2-8.
It's been great.
2-8 on the West Coast. Let's talk about this game. Boy, was it frustrating. It was frustrating on, I feel like, so many levels. I mean, there was frustration part of the game in itself. I'm just not in a good mood to begin with. Let's put it that way. So then this game took place. Didn't help any. And honestly, a lot of my frustration came just like watching Zach Thompson and just like going back and thinking how, we've talked about him and like the results were there. It's like how we're talking about Bryce Wilson currently. Like the results were there, but he's probably not that good. And since coming back from the IL, he's been awful. He's been awful, Tyler. And tonight, just a terrible display. And it made me go back thinking about the Stallings trade once again. And I know Stallings isn't having a good season this year, but
Stallings is having an absolutely awful season.
Oh, it's terrible. I understand that. But you traded him at the level that he was, which was a Gold Glove caliber catcher, 2.5 WAR player. He also had a good 2020 season. And it's like, and then here's Zach Thompson. There's just Connor Scott. There's Kyle Nicholas. And I'm just frustrated, man.
Yeah, I can throw that entire Stallings trade out the window. And if we just look at Zach Thompson singularly, he's a bad major league pitcher. He should not be in a rotation in the major leagues anywhere. He's shown it time and time again. There's a reason he was a 27-year-old rookie. His stuff isn't good. He doesn't miss bats. He has weak command. He's not a guy that you should plug into your rotation. He doesn't need innings. That's the other part. 4 innings a day. I don't know if he's really gone over 5 in months. I could be wrong about that, but if he has, it hasn't been a good 5. He's a bullpen killer. There's not much positive to really say about Zach Thompson as a major league pitcher. And there's not much you can really even look at and say, if you put him in the bullpen, you might see some incremental improvements. He's just not good.
That's kind of how I feel on him. He's literally by definition just a guy. I know Jim loves to say that, but he is just a guy. He's a guy. Not so sure he's a baseball player, but he's a guy.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's a guy.
I'm saying that in like the most literal form. Like he's just a guy.
He's a guy with.
I'm not sure if he's a baseball player, but he's a guy.
He's not even a rubber arm that you could just throw 150 pitches and survive 5 innings out of it. He's bad.
Right.
Like he does nothing
to your
well.
Point. Since
and he didn't even pitch
IL,
that poorly today. The first 2 innings.
I was going to say, he gave up, 5-6 hits, I think, in 2 innings?
Yeah, I guess he missed bats, but for Zach Thompson, he was fine.
There's the bar. No, I was going to say, to your point, though, coming back from the IL, which was on July 3rd, he's had now 8 starts, and he did go 3 over 5, 5.1, 5.2, and a 6.2.
Okay.
Not that it's great, but I'm just saying that there's the factual information.
That was the stretch where he was dancing through a bunch of raindrops and looking like Trevor Williams.
I mean, the 1-5, no. He gave up 1 earned, 7 earned, and 7 earned. so
Okay,
absolutely
never
not.
Never mind. I must have.
His longest starts was his worst starts.
Let me just shoot you straight here. When Zach Thompson's pitching, I tune out. I have
So does Zach Thompson.
When Zach Thompson and Tyler Beatty are on the mound, I don't care. I've got better shit to do with my life than watch them. And if you watch them, I appreciate you. You're probably a better Pirates fan than I. Why? What are you wasting your time for?
So let's just go. I mean, again, Zach Thompson, very uninspiring so far. This is why I think all of us pretty much were uninspired with the trade to begin with Zach Thompson. Start of the year awful, but then things changed as we're talking about Oscar Marine and, the changes they made to a lot of different pitchers. Like things did change fundamentally for Zach Thompson and results were coming, although it was with caution still. We definitely talked about it. It's like, well, I think we talked about next year's rotation in that time frame where it's like, it was JT Brubaker, you can slide in there. Like he looks like a major league starting pitcher. But with Zach Thompson, we're not sure yet. And, he was on the IL at the time. Now he's back. And it looks bad. And I can't even put it at this point of like, it's just fresh off the IL is getting back into things again. This is 8 starts now, and they've all been rather bad.
If Zach Thompson rolls into this opening day rotation next year, I might retire from podcasting because I can't talk about this team every night. Because that means they did absolutely nothing again.
Do I want Zach Thompson in or out of the rotation now? But I'm with you. Like, that's just the problem. Like, that's just the issue with this team and the organization where it's headed. It's just like, you have to start making some improvements. And to acquire more Zach Thompsons isn't it. Like, the bar has to be higher. You have to press the acceleration at some point, or else it's just another year of Brian Reynolds on a losing team. And how many of them does he have to see in his major league career before he hits free agency?
All of them.
I know he says he wants to stay here, and that's great. And I'm not like, this is the coming out extension, but it's like, how long are you going to wait to do it? Till he's 30 in that extension? Then trade him now. Like, why is he here wasting his prime years away for 100 lost seasons year over year? I digress. We're going to go way off the deep end. Let's get back to this game.
That's why I'm not responding. Because
all right,
I don't want to be on the show for an hour.
Zach Thompson, the season and career. Let's talk Zach Thompson, the game. He did go 4 innings today, 5 earned, 7 hits, 2 walks, of course, another home run, 5 strikeouts. I did the math in the second inning. So I'm going to guesstimate his ERA is like at a 6.6 right now. 50 hits in 40 innings pitched. It's like you're saying, like he's just giving up way too much contact.
No, he's just bad. Like the guy's not good.
Right.
He's not. He's another guy that we talk about all the time. If they DFA him tomorrow, who is picking him up?
I feel like someone will pick him up, but not a good team.
Yeah, it'd be like Tyler Beatty.
That's good. That's probably a fair point. Like he'll get picked up, but it's not because this guy's intriguing. It's because there's an injury and some team needs innings, which the Pirates kind of do because they're keeping Romansy in AAA and they're starting Tyler Beatty and such. Like they have their own issues. So the Pirates are basically that team that we're talking of, but there's another team out there that, has actual reasons to, and that's probably why, but that's only why.
It'd be a bad team and they put him in the bullpen and he'd be there for like a week or two until they found someone else.
Yeah. But I'm with you. Zach Thompson, not a good game. The rest.
Brian Reynolds had a good game.
Brian Reynolds did.
Let's have a positive moment here. Brian Reynolds had a very good game.
3 for 4. 5 RBIs. 3 runs. Literally carried the team on his back, facing his former team, the Giants. this is good for him.
Yeah,
And with runners in scoring position, like he came through, it's a good game for him.
how many? He have 5 RBIs today.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good game from him. 3 hits, like you said. They probably
Single,
win.
double, and home run. Those 3 hits.
They probably win the game if he's in center field because Greg Allen was lazy and didn't go after a pop fly. That Kevin Newman didn't back off of O'Neal Cruz calling him off, and then the center fielder should call both of them off, but instead the center fielder was jogging to the baseball. So they probably win the game if Brian Reynolds is in center field, and then the announcer doesn't have to blame O'Neal Cruz instead of the guy that wouldn't back off the baseball.
All that.
Yeah, that whole thing happened.
And maybe also, and again, like I said on the tweet, this isn't on Josh Van Meter, but maybe if Josh Van Meter didn't have to come in and pinch hit because he's one of the worst baseball hitters in all of baseball, but he comes in the pitch hit and stays in the game at second and doesn't even get off a routine double play. So that home run that was hit off Will Crow in the 9th ends up being a solo shot, tied game. We're still watching, maybe. But now we're talking because there's a guy on base that Josh Van Meter was unable to eliminate, and the Giants win.
Josh Van Meter didn't need to come into the game on any planet. He didn't need to pinch it for Jason DeLay, ever. That's just a very, very, very awful move by Derek Shelton, which we've seen quite a few of these, where for some reason he thinks these catchers can't hit, or he thinks Jason DeLay can't hit. We saw something earlier in the year where he pinch hit Michael Perez for someone, and Michael Perez is one of the worst hitters of all time. Tonight we see him hit for Jason DeLay with Josh freaking Van Meter.
You mentioned the Perez one now, and it pops up in my head now too. I remember that. I forget who it was though, but it was such a puzzle.
It was so stupid.
With this said, this is why there's talk about Derek Shelton. Okay. And I want to bring that up because I saw a little bit today going back and forth on Twitter and such, like Derek Shelton is given a bad hand. I get that. This team stinks. It's not as if Cherington gave Derek Shelton a good team and said, here, you need to win with this. But the problem is with what he has, he makes bad decisions. So I'm not that enthused to see what he's going to do with a good team. And this is a good example of it. Like putting Josh Van Meter in the game right there is not good. I know Jason DeLay is not a good player either, but Josh Van Meter is awful. And then keeping him in the game, and he's shown time and time again, like he's just awful on defense as well. And he makes a game-costing play tonight again. After, of course, striking out.
Yeah, and unless Derek Shelton had a gun to his head that made Josh Van Meter hit leadoff or second as many times as he did, there's no defense of that man.
Again, right.
That's just trying to be bad.
Correct.
He's a bad manager. There's no excuse otherwise. He's been handed shit, and he has turned shit into the worst smelling shit of all time.
I do feel, which you and I have argued with, not really argued, but we've definitely discussed, one of the bigger aspects of being a manager is really the clubhouse and the guys stuff. And I do feel like he does pretty well on that. And to me, that's a bigger issue than a lot of the in-game stuff. But he's horrible at the in-game stuff. And I guess I put credit to this. There's still, you talk about fundamentals on NS9 Live. And yeah, that was like certainly a thing with Clinton Hurdle in the past. Like we all talked about, there's a lot of people like Clinton needs to be more tougher on these guys and get back to the fundamentals and stricter because they're just doing whatever. And like I feel Shelton has a little bit of that in him. Like you see a lot of stuff on the field and you're like, how is that happening? You know what I mean? Like where?
Well, we know why that's happening because the GM hasn't, like gone over the minor league system. It's the same people that have always been there.
Right. Right.
So that's just a bigger picture thing that doesn't change. However, Derek Shelton, it does seem like he does well with the clubhouse. I mean,
and that's what I was like getting to here is like the teams in it. You don't see this team really quit. Now they make boneheaded stuff, and you can get on the disciplinary things and whatnot. But it seems to be a good clubhouse. It seems to be a team that doesn't quit. They're just not good.
That's also very fleeting, though, whenever you're losing 100 games a year. There's only so long that this clubhouse can stay positive when they are losing
Right.
2 out of 3 games every single time.
I mean, no doubt, man. That's quite clear, and that's like the issue. Yeah, again, like how many years does Brian Reynolds, who you're going to look upon as your leader, just get complacent? I mean, the whole like this offseason, I think the biggest trigger word, complacency. Like this team, this organization is to be complacent because all your guys have just lost. So at what point does the care of winning kind of just you lose that edge? Because I've been here for 5 years and all we've done is lose. I don't care about winning as much anymore. It's not in my blood. Or if you go to the Yankees, like it's demanded. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I'm getting at.
Yeah, like at this point, why do I want to move that runner over and hurt my batting average and hurt my next contract? We're going to lose 100 games either way.
Big picture, what does it matter?
Like I can try to hit a double here, or I can try to win this game and ground out to second base.
Great.
Which one's going to help me more in the long run?
And
I've been here. Like at some point, that is going to factor into your head.
Yeah, I'm not saying it won't, but I'm just saying like it doesn't even have to be that. It's just 162 games is a lot of games in one season, and compile that over 5. That's a lot of games where you just mentally knew like you're not competing. So at one point, do you start losing that edge and will to like really want to win? And you're not adding that veteran leadership to do so. We're getting back on this whole organization again, away from the game. Again, you can see where our frustrations are right now.
Anthony said moving a runner over doesn't hurt the batting average. I'm not talking about a bunt. I'm talking about just like hitting behind a runner. Just to clear that up. Like, I'm not saying they're not sacrifice bunting because they don't want to hurt their average. I'm just saying they're not going to try to go the other way in a certain situation or try to do a job when they probably should. But, that's going to hurt my batting average. And to be honest, to go back to your original point, if it's me and I'm not a professional athlete, if I'm on this team, probably by day 3, I'm just like, do I want to go take extra reps? I'm good enough. We're good. We're going to lose 100 games. I'm going to hit 280. We're fine. Who cares? Whether
you are a professional athlete or not, we all know there's plenty of people in this that are in this just for the business. I mean, I think anyone who grew up like even high school or college, whatever, like not even professional, you all know people who played this sport because they were good at it, but they hated it. I mean, I knew people. One of my friends in high school was a great cross country. I mean, he went to states, everything, and he just hated it, but he was so good at it. And he didn't play in college simply because he hated it. And there's guys that are getting paid right now, but they don't enjoy. So I'm just getting at that point. Like that's a real thing.
Oh, it definitely is.
Right. So even though you're not a professional athlete, there's plenty of you in that perspective.
No, they're all human. Like at some point, losing as much as they are beats you down, no matter how good you are.
Right.
And that's all this team does is lose.
So back to the game. So Brian Reynolds did stand out, as you mentioned. We can also talk about another guy, Rodolfo Castro, had 2 pretty big hits. We talked about Castro. We understand the blunders he's made. Let's just say he doesn't go missing as far as the game goes. I think every game he's talked about in some form or another,
good or bad, he's there.
And usually both forms, because he has performed. He's played well since he's come back up.
Yes.
And he's definitely done some boneheaded things. But today, 2 for 5. And then also another multi-hit. Kevin Newman went 2 for 3. And Jason DeLay went 2 for 2 with a walk.
Thank God they pitched it, Josh.
For Josh Van Meter.
I need a beer.
Tyler's getting a beer. Yes. So to repeat that once again, as we start off the show talking about with Josh Van Meter, right? Josh Van Meter came into the game in a crucial time to pinch hit for the guy, right? Josh Van Meter batting 189 in the season. He came in to pitch hit for the guy who's on base 3 for 3. 2 hits and a walk.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Josh Van Meter came into the game for.
Josh Van Meter
Derek
has
Shelton.
55 weighted runs created plus.
Correct. So yes, Jason DeLay also in multi-hit game.
Yeah. And they brought in a worse catcher.
Right.
It's,
Which think that didn't have to bite him in the ass. It was just the Van Meter part that did.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but we don't know because Jason DeLay does call a very good game.
Yeah, he does, and he plays decent defense. And
Yeah,
I'm just imagining like the Josh Van Meter allowing the base runner, right? And then it wasn't a home run, but there was a throw at the plate, and it was Godoy who missed it or misplayed it, and then that's how the run scored. So it was like a combo of Van Meter and Godoy. But thank God the home run just took care of everything, you know.
But back to the game again. DeLay, he just collects hits. He kind of does remind me of Chris Stewart a little bit. Not as good defensively. Just at the plate, he's somehow collecting hits, and they're not pretty, and he's just putting the bat on the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Aside from that, Rodolfo Castro's played well. I mean, he, like you said, he does a lot of dumb things. Very dumb things. He can be a utility player in this organization, which the team has a bunch of them. So who knows if he will be. I'm fine watching the rest of the year if it meant that I don't have to watch the rest of the scrubs.
I just want to point out, so with Rodolfo Castro, since coming back up to the majors, he's had 5 starts. And in those 5 starts, he has 4 multi-hit games. So, and actually, so, I mean, he pitched, hit, and won. So really, if you want to look at it, in the last 4 starts, he's had 2 hits in every game. 8 hits in the last 4 starts.
How many?
1 home run.
I feel like
a triple,
I do feel like a lot
2
of
triples,
like
double.
Like at least 2 of those starts were against lefties.
Well, I know.
Maybe
Well, the home
3.
run and that triple was, because he crushed that home run.
Yeah, so like he hits lefties well. He does have power.
Yes, he does.
He can play a decent second and third. He's not a shortstop. Stop putting him there. He's fine to keep on the roster. Just kind of a guy.
He's fine to keep on the roster. Just kind of a guy. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, there's power there. There's stuff to get intrigued about, but nothing that I'm really like pounding the table for Rodolfo Castro.
That's fair. That's fair. But I'm certainly intrigued. Again, rather him than Josh Van Meter that I'm watching.
But that's the problem. Our bar is so low that we'll just take anybody that has one little tool. Because
he's
this
got
team
tools,
is just,
though.
But I'm just saying, like, in general, we were talking about Bly Madris that we wanted to see him, and he kind of does stink. We were talking about him because this team has set this bar so low just by shoving poop right down our throat.
I mean, I agree. Part of it was that, but honestly, I felt the bigger part for me was he earned it, at least. If we're talking about players and earning things, right? Like there's Josh Van Meter and Yoshi on this team, and Suzuki or Suzuki. Oh God, what was the other? He's in Tampa now. Whatever. Like there's all these other guys that stink. Yeah, Yu Chang. These guys that stink, and it's like, here's a guy who's at least earning the right to play. Call him up and do what's right. Again, I didn't expect much from him, but that was the right thing to do in the shape of this organization as it stands. But you're right. I don't think Bly Madris is proving much for his case for a career in Pittsburgh
or anywhere.
But back to the game. This posting game show is gonna be called "Back to the Game." But yeah, with Rodolfo, another good game. I mean, he is showing why there is intrigue with him. Certainly, this time around is looking very, very pleasant. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of the year. I just want to get back to the delay. You talked about Chris Stewart. I mean, that's a pretty good comp. I know I hype up delay. I mean, it just is a thing. He's been performing since he came up for the most part, but like I don't expect him to. But it's like you're saying, but the hits are still coming. He's never really hit anywhere. He's batting .269 right now in the year. Not that it's like great by any means, but he's performing. I don't know how long this will last. I don't suspect that it will, but he is doing that thing.
But for God's sake, ride it.
Yeah.
We know that Josh Van Meter's not on a hot streak.
I just said he's batting 269, and that's not great. But in today's current lineup, that was the best batting average in there.
Yeah.
So there you go. And not that batting average means everything, but here, 687 OPS is fifth best in that lineup.
Yeah. I mean, he's not near like the Stewart comp. He's not nearly as good defensively, but Chris Stewart was an elite defensive catcher.
Correct.
And for some reason, when he came to the Pirates, he just decided he was going to be the best contact hitter of all time. And only
really
had bloopers everywhere. So
you could
he's not on that level, but
every single year.
Kind of reminiscent that, like, we've seen a lot of bad defensive play other than Stallings behind the plate, and that's probably because we've seen 12 catchers this year.
Right.
And they've all
including
stunk.
Josh Van Meter. He just never goes away. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Again, other than that, we could talk about O'Neal Cruz. Today was an awful game for him. 5 plate appearances, 4 strikeouts, and I feel like he looked awful in every single one of them.
Yeah, he didn't look like he really wanted to be there. And that's what, when you're lost, you look like you don't want to be there.
Yeah, it was bad. I know that last strikeout, he definitely, just going to say the word, like he looked frustrated that last time out, which, I mean, you want to see that. Like
unless you're a Pirates announcer.
Right.
Then you're going to whine about it.
I want to see him frustrated. He should be frustrated. Again, I don't want to see him complacent that he's striking out 4 times in a game. But the thing is, he has to adjust. He has to start. Let me take that back. Yes, I don't want to make this sound like I'm impatient. It has to start today. But he has to take this and learn and improve. And this is why he's in there seeing this stuff. But yeah, today was an awful day for O'Neal Cruz at the plate. Well, also in the field because of Newman.
Yeah. We'll throw that fielding part out because that's a whole like dissection of what probably should have happened at the plate. Though it's weird. It's like everyone's catching on to what we've been saying on here for like 2 months, that this team takes way too many good pitches. And we saw it beginning of this game where Kevin Young and Greg Brown were talking about getting into 2 strikes. Where maybe someone, like everybody, noticed that this team is way too patient and not aggressive enough. And it's probably an organizational thing. Like we said, like 2 months ago. And O'Neal Cruz is the main example right now because it's sticking out like a sore thumb. And also probably a part of that is that it feels like he is seeing lefties more than anyone I have ever seen that gets called up as a lefty hitter.
Right.
This guy has seen so many damn lefties. I think he's got over close to 70 plate appearances against lefties this year, maybe 170 plate appearances. That's a good amount. And every single lefty he sees just is a junk bowler.
Yeah. No,
he's not jumping on any fastballs.
Right. So that's that part. But it's going back to like what Jim and I were talking about the one night. It's partly this lineup. You know, I mean, obviously we give credit to Shelton in the fact that he is like letting him in the lineup versus lefties. Yes, when he gets pulled, it's always versus a lefty, but it's not as if he's missing a lot of games versus lefties, right? Like he's not playing a lefty righty matchup, and like, oh no, Cruz just isn't seeing left-handed pitching this year because of that. So for his development, this is good. But right, this lineup is just so awful that all the other teams are just treating O'Neal Cruz like the guy, regardless. If he's up, they put in the lefty reliever because he can't hit him. And it's not like they're afraid of Greg Allen, Marcano, and delay, but Josh Van Meter, that's coming after him. So they for that, they give him that special treatment, even though he's not really producing, because he's the only guy who has that ability to change the game. So you're right. He's seeing a lot of lefties because once that 6th inning comes, 7th inning, whatever it is, there's a lefty coming in. Oh no, Cruz is up, bullpen, lefty.
Yep, every single time, because they refuse to put Michael Chavis behind him, or even just hit him leadoff and have Brian Reynolds behind him,
right,
or do anything to help his development here.
Right.
Instead, they're going to put him cleanup. We're always going to see his breaking balls. Or 7th, we're always going to see his breaking balls because there's nobody behind him. Or 6th, we're always going to see his breaking balls because there's nobody freaking behind him.
Yeah. We've definitely talked about this. Anthony has a question. Do you think they would ditch the new hitting coach after just one season? Do I think or do I want are two different things? I think they absolutely should.
I think they should ditch everyone on this coaching staff.
That's pretty much what NS9 Live was about, outside of Jim, who seems indifferent on certainly one. I think every coach is just unnoticed right now.
I think they need to scrap the entire developmental team. I think they need to scrap the entire major league coaching staff. I don't know enough about the minor league coaching staff to really complain about them, but if they scrapped them, I wouldn't care about that either.
I think that's a good way of putting it. There's no one that's really there that you're pounding your fist to keep. So if they did, they do.
Nobody's really getting promoted, so what's the matter?
Right. Like, I feel like the only person was Hanrahan, and he made the decision that he's already gone. So there's no one left that I feel like it's like, no, we got to keep that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be fine. They really do need to overhaul that entire development team, which has been in place, as we've said ad nauseum, for like 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, to answer the question, I do think Haynes should go. Will he go? Honestly, man, I don't know. Like, that's where I'm at. I don't know. And I guess I speak for myself more. You can speak on, your behalf. But, like, I feel like I get a lot of questions like that. And it's not that I'm trying to be sarcastic or just smart or whatever. It's just I can't answer any of this organization right now because there's a lot that this doesn't make sense to me. So if I'm trying to make sense of it to tell you the answer, I can't. So I'm scrapping Haynes, but is he gone? I don't know.
I would venture to guess he's not. They didn't fire Oscar Marine after just being atrocious at his job.
I know.
They fired.
And I almost felt too like I know I talked about this in the offseason. I almost felt as if because Sheldon handpicked everyone but the hitting coach previously. And I felt like this was like his out. I was like, well, the hitting sucks because this wasn't my guy. And now he picked his guy. And your
guy's worse.
Your guy stinks. So this is why I'm also even saying, like, is Shelton on notice? Like, was that his saving grace of even keeping his job? I don't know. Probably not. But, I'm just saying at this point in time, it's like that was his out. Like, these are mostly my guys, but this one isn't. Let me get my guy in here. And your guy's really, really bad. So, again, back to Derek Shelton.
Look, Derek Shelton's supposedly a hitting coach. Hitting's bad.
Honestly, let's give the team the speed hitter. I just have that. That's the hitting coach, the speed hitter. Just have that. I feel like it would do a better job. Maybe they'll get aggressive and start swinging.
Bring me Juan Pierre.
Oh, you love Juan Pierre.
I'm telling you, Marcano's got to go Juan Pierre out. You saw that infield single he had.
Yeah.
He's got to go full on there.
All right. Let's spend 35 minutes again, Tyler. What are we doing?
We do that.
Let's bring it back in. So I don't know how much you were really on top of the bullpen. I know obviously Crow got 2 runs charged to him. Really, that should have just been 1. Yeah. He went out for a second time because that's what he has to do. Shelton needs to do with his relievers. But I guess Manny Benuelos, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, a hit. I don't really care too much about him. Probably not going to be on the team next year. Stout, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Not caring too much about him either. The only one in this game outside of Crow is Holderman. So I don't know if you might want to talk about him. He did go an inning, 2 hits, an earned run, strikeout. We've liked what we've seen out of Holderman so far. So what are your thoughts today on him?
I thought the umpire was a dick.
You and everybody else.
Like, dude, he's allowed to just show a hair of emotion. You're okay. You don't have to be that thin-skinned.
Right.
Other than that, I got annoyed I just get annoyed by the fact that this team throws every reliever out there for a second inning just to get shelled around and not
never
hit him out
fails.
and then pull them.
It never fails. And I just knew it was coming today from Crow. I just knew it. When he was in the dugout talking to whomever, right? I forget what it was, but I was like, he's going to come back out there. They're going to lose a game. And it's what happened, basically. But, oh, well.
I mean, Crow pitched fine. Crow pitched fine. He got a double play that didn't happen. He was fine. Like, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
He's been fine, really, for a while. Holderman, I think, looked fine again. And well, as I'm on the same page as you, I'm not that intrigued by him. I'm just more frustrated by the bullpen usage. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He's going to keep doing it.
Zach Thompson only gives you 4. Does make things more difficult with Yerry De Los Santos out, with David Benner out because you've basically been using him 3 innings at a time for 6 months.
Yeah.
Being a little facetious there. But again, we're talking about the bullpen usage and Derek Shelton and reasons why we question Shelton. So there's that. So yes, all in all, Pittsburgh does lose 8-7. They are 45-70. Jim showed into the show earlier. He corrected me. I did say 45-69. I was too quick for the gun. It's 70 now. 5th place in the NL, second to last in or NL Central today, second to last in the NL period. There's only one team worse, and that is the Nationals at this point in time. So, yeah, Pittsburgh Pirates.
You know what's the most annoying?
What's up?
Is that it's now 8:18, 8:19 actually, and we're just now wrapping up the post-game show on a Sunday. I hate these West Coast trips so much.
Well,
I hate them.
You know, they're fun when they're playing the Dodgers and you win and you sweep. They're fun then. But when you go 2 for 8, they're certainly not fun then.
Tell you what, you can talk about the dog days of August, about these players and how tough it is. We need to start talking about the dog days of August of podcasters. Because it's tough.
Right. And we've gone daily now. Like it was tough because I mean NS9 started as every Sunday. Ryan and I did a show, and then we added Thursday night NS9 live, right? And then we did Starbucks. There was Donors Dugout for a little bit. There's all these different shows, and now we're daily basically. So, but yet 38 minutes, 23 seconds, we're still talking.
Yeah, I think it's time.
It's time. So Pirates will face the Red Sox.
7:05, baby. We're back.
Back on the East Coast, but it's the Red Sox. Hey, they're a losing team, so
Ben Cherington homecoming.
Is this the Ben Cherington revenge series?
Watch O'Neal Cruz hit lead off.
So Boston in PNC Park, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, it's going to be Mitch Keller versus Nick Pivetta on Tuesday. We'll see you guys then after the game. Bye-bye.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.